even though I don't want to be with him anymore, there is a part of me that wants him to still want to be with me. But what hurts me is that I feel he doesn't.
In today's video, we examine the case of a woman who has divorced her husband but does not want him to move on with his life. Throughout this video, she will try to paint herself as the victim in this situation. However, that narrative will fall apart as her true nature will emerge, and we will see how psychotic she has become. Let us proceed.
I felt compelled to make a video in response to what someone commented on another video about my children's father, H, pressuring to file for divorce because he possibly has someone else, and it's something that I wish this person hadn't commented, because I have been thinking about that, and it makes me feel even worse than what I already do, because it's something that I've definitely also thought about, and his actions have made me think that this is a possibility, and it's just not good for my self-esteem. When I knew he was coming after 3 months of not seeing him and him not seeing his kids, I even offered for him to stay here. I thought it would be a better transition for the kids to see him, and then we would talk to our daughter, our oldest daughter, for 7 months. 7 years. Oh, 7 years old, almost 7 years old. And he didn't want that. He said he wanted his space, and he is a person that wants his space. When he's next to me and he's on his phone, he kind of goes like this, the pressuring, and then he already talked about, when we were talking about how we were going to be before we talked to our daughter, and how we wanted, I said, I want this to be okay, we weren't meant for each other, but that doesn't mean we have to be enemies, and it's good for them to see that we can even be friends, right, and have moments that it's the four of us. So yeah, the different behaviors have gotten me thinking, does he already have someone else? And it does make me feel like shit even more. It really does, because I feel like I'm that easily replaceable. For 12 years that I've been with him, I feel like I've begged for his love, and it's like the harder, the more the people play hard to get, the more you want that person. I feel like that's what's happening, even though I know that he is not the person for me. It's an ego thing. I know that. I know it's an ego thing. But I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel like shit. It really does. It makes me feel horrible about myself. And I wish it didn't. But it does. And so then I feel like maybe it's time to just rip the band-aid off and start dating myself, or seeing what's out there. And I know a lot of people say, no, you're not ready, and you gotta learn to love yourself before you can love someone else, and you gotta be by yourself. But I feel like I have been for the last 12 years, actually. I feel like I have been by myself in a certain way. I've been with someone, but he's been doing his own thing this whole time, and I'll get into that in another post. But yeah, part of me just wants to let's go, let's move on, let's do this, because I do not like feeling like shit and like I'm not worthy of people's love. Yeah.
The aforementioned woman is the initiator of the divorce. Yet she appears distraught by her former spouse's inclination to move on with his life. Her self-absorption has precipitated the destruction of her family and is presently jeopardizing her own future. In the forthcoming segment, we shall observe the extent of her jealousy toward her former spouse.
It's something that I definitely felt towards H, that I feel towards H sometimes, because it's just different for men and women. I mean, and that's just the way it is. Anyone can argue that, oh, no, it's not. Like, women have it 10 times harder. We are the caretakers. We have the invisible load. We take care of the kids and work, or some people just take care of the kids. But like, we have an amount of work and responsibility and mental like load. Yeah, when it comes to the kids, that's just it's not the same. I mean, biologically, we nurse, or some, not all. So while H was able to really dedicate himself more to his career, I've had to split myself, and it has been extremely difficult. We both work in video production, and since I've known him, H has always traveled for work, and I completely get that and whatnot. But once we had, our daughter, it continued, which is fine. It was just more of a feeling like it's not the same for me. Like, I can't just up and leave, for weeks at a time, sometimes almost a month. And like, I couldn't do that, I would, or I could, I know I could if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. And so, of course, it was like, he is, moving up in his career, and I am staying stagnant, and that is frustrating. And then finally, when my daughter turned 2 and I came back to the United States after, living in Mexico for such a long time, and offered a bigger position in a production company, and I took it. It was the first time that I was away from her, and working a full-time job, and I loved it. I really enjoyed that, and I realized that I can't be just a stay-at-home mom, and it's important for me to work, and that gives me joy as well. But when it came to like being able to travel for work, I was never available for that. Because I didn't want to leave my daughter. My daughter's also autistic, so I tried to limit these drastic changes in her life as much as possible, and I've been the one constant factor, so I can't just like up and go for a couple weeks or a couple of days even. And I know that's been my choice and whatnot, but yeah, there is resentment there when he can and he does and I don't. And again, I know that that's my choice. Now, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be able to work. Even now, I have my own company, and I've decided to have my own company to give me the flexibility of being the mother that I want to be, but also having the career that I want to have. And it's not like I don't, I don't. H right now is in Miami, then he's gonna go to Mexico, and then, he goes to Jamaica, and he goes all over the place, and I don't because I don't want to disrupt my kid's life. I'm still nursing my son, so yeah, there's resentment.
Her commitment to her career has led her to believe that it supersedes her familial obligations. Regrettably, her pursuit of this professional endeavor has resulted in the disintegration of her family, a decision she appears to have made to compete with her husband. Paradoxically, she now laments his prompt engagement in a new relationship. It is noteworthy that her husband's conduct has not deviated from the standards of propriety, a fact she herself acknowledges, yet she persists in her pursuit of divorce. Prior to proceeding further, I encourage you to share your opinions on the matter in the comments section below. Let us continue.
I want to clarify something because I think that I might be coming off as a victim here, and I'm not. I'm a victim of myself. I'm not a victim of H. I'm a victim of myself. He is not a bad person. He's not the right person for me. I'm not the right person for him, unfortunately. That hurts. But he's not a bad person. And this divorce is amicable. At least up until this point, we're on the same page about doing things this way for our kids, for ourselves. I'm not on a place like I can't see him. I can't see him with another person right now, but I can see him.
The woman's conduct is nothing short of perplexing. She has initiated divorce proceedings on seemingly trivial grounds, only to subsequently express reservations about her ex-husband's pursuit of companionship, even though she herself has no intention of reconciling with him. In an upcoming segment, she acknowledges her own erratic behavior, though without expressing any intention to alter her course.
My mind is my worst enemy. Sometimes I am my own worst enemy. For instance, like, this is gonna be difficult to say because it makes me sound like a crazy person, and I realize that, but it's the truth, and I said that I would be raw and unfiltered, right? Even though I don't want to be with him anymore, there is a part of me that wants him to still want to be with me. And when I kind of think about, like, what gets me upset, or why am I so sad about certain things, of him wanting to also go through with the divorce, if I don't want to be with him, and it's this craziness, or I don't know, maybe it's like just human. Here it is. My problem is not that I don't value myself, or I don't have self-love. I think if I didn't, I would continue to be in this relationship. And I feel like this found awareness of myself and the self-love has brought me to this point of wanting to get the divorce and move on and find someone, or many someones, that fulfill me, more. But what hurts me is that I feel he doesn't value me the way I value me. And that's what, really hurts.
One could posit that it is a fortuitous development that her former spouse is now free to seek happiness with a new partner. One can scarcely fathom the ordeal of being married to an individual who, after having children together, opts for divorce merely to follow a career path. The notion that one's career pursuits should take precedence over familial obligations and the solemn vows made to one's partner is, to say the least, perplexing. It is worth noting that she has chosen to bemoan her ex-husband's prompt transition to a new relationship on social media. However, any rational person would likely prioritize their own well-being and distance themselves from a former spouse who, in the pursuit of a career, disrupted their family and marriage vows. Recently, I produced a video that explores the dissolution of a 23-year marriage, wherein a woman decided to part ways with her husband. Subsequently, her former spouse attained significant wealth shortly after their divorce. Regretfully, she lamented the perceived unfairness of not sharing in his newfound success. I earnestly encourage you to view this video, which is conveniently accessible via the link provided in the description below. As is our customary practice, I extend an open invitation for you to subscribe and share your insights by liking and perspectives through comments and reflections. In the interim, I wish you all the very best, urging you to take care of yourselves. Until we convene for our next episode, I bid adieu to each and every one of you. Farewell, dear audience.